Hello, welcome to the video lesson, or video notes for lesson 5-3. And this lesson is called Solving Systems Using Substitution. This begins on page 13 of your notes packet. And let's go ahead and take a look at the target. So the learning target for this lesson is I can solve systems of equations using substitution. Alright, now substitution, you've heard that word used before in math. A lot of times we think of that as a step that we do when we're checking our work to make sure that everything worked out correctly. Now, when we do this strategy for solving systems of equations, we're going to the strategy that I have that I want to show you is 5 steps. So write this down, 5 steps. And you're going to see me use those steps in this first example. So the first step is we're going to need a new equation. The second step is we're going to solve for x. The third step, once we have x, then we need y, so then we're going to solve for y. Fourth step is the check. And the last step, and this is very important, it's very important for you to always state the solution. Don't make the solution hard to find. Write down the word solution and then put what it is right after. Okay? Alright, so method 1, or actually situation 1. When both equations are in slope-intercept form, remember that's the y equals mx plus b. This is a very convenient form for us when we're solving, because they're both equal to the same thing, which means this and this are the same. If they both equal y, then they're both the same. So remember, step 1 is to write an equation, a new equation, and our new equation is going to be 3x minus 1 equals negative 2x plus 4. And you'll notice we no longer have the variable y in our situation. And because y is no longer part of our situation, we have one variable. It's easy to isolate that one variable and solve for it. So step 2 is solve for x. So you're going to solve your equation. And I'll just go ahead, I'll do plus 1 to both sides first. And I get 3x equals negative 2x plus 5. Add 2x to both sides. I'm sure many of you are starting to see what's about to happen here. So we get 5x equals 5. So divide both sides by 5. And you have x equals 1. Now, you have part of your answer, but you don't have your whole solution. Remember, when we're solving a system of equations, we're getting a solution that is a point of intersection. So I need a y value, so that's step 3. Now, to do step 3, we're going to pick one of these two equations. I'll go ahead and go with the first one. And we're going to substitute what we have in, which is x. So I'm going to use y equals 3x minus 1. I'm going to substitute x equals 1 into the equation. 3 times 1 is 3, so I get 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 is 2, so y equals 2. Now I have enough for a solution. Before I'm going to state the solution, I want to check it. So step 4, now what I'm going to do is use the other equation, the one that I didn't use up above for y, ESS, and that's the y equals negative 2x plus 4. But this time, I'm going to plug in both x and y, which is 2 and 1. So 2 equals negative 2, parentheses 1, plus 4. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. So I get 2 equals negative 2 plus 4. And that is correct. Negative 2 plus 4 is 2. So 2 equals 2. It checks. Wonderful. Step 5, the solution is, it's a point, remember. So the x value is 1, the y value is 2, and you are done. 5 steps. I think everything makes a lot of sense here. Okay, so they're not always going to be in y equals mx plus b form. So let's take a look at another example, method 2, or situation 2. When one equation is in slope-intercept form and the other is not. All right, well, one is in y equals mx plus b form, that's the first one. The other is not, but we still have this situation where y is equal to something. It's equal to this. So I can plug this in for y. It's still going to be 5 steps. Step 1 is to write a new equation. So since y is equal to 3x, in the second equation, I'm going to do 2x plus, instead of y, 3x equals 15. Step 2, solve for x, because that's the only variable I have now. So I combine like terms, 2x plus 3x is 5x, 5x equals 15. Divide both sides by 5, and I get x is equal to 3. So I have half of my solution. Step 3, now find y using ESS. It does not matter which equation you use. I'm going to go ahead and use the first one, y equals 3x. Now I substitute my x value in, y equals 3 times 3. So then y equals 9. So I have my other half, but to make sure that it works, I have to substitute it into my other equation. So ESS again, but this time I'm going to use 2x plus y equals 15. So I substitute 3 in for x. I substitute 9 in for y. And then I work it out. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 9 is 15. So 15 equals 15. We have a nice check here. So remember, step 5, probably the most important step that a lot of people forget. State your solution. Don't make it a mystery. You can't answer this by just leaving the x equals 3 and the y equals 9. You need to write it as a point. That is how you do this. And if you want to circle it, or put a box around it, or put a cloud, I don't care. All those things make a lot of sense to identify your final answer. So that's it. Now, method or situation 2 with the equations, one of them not being in y equals mx plus b form, we're going to see some different examples of that, and we'll talk about what to do. All right? So that's it for this lesson. Nice and short, kept it under 10 minutes. If you had any trouble or if I went too fast, go back and rewatch the video. If you need help, you can come and see me or ask a friend. Good luck, and we'll see you in math.